Hello everybody. Today we'll be discussing on Ehrlich and his theory Neostructuralism. In the first part we have discussed on the assumptions he made with regard to the research he did around the world on different communities like the Kurdis of Turkey, the Kachins of Myanmar, the Pulalia of Sri Lanka. Today we will be discussing on different principles he suggested while going for the theory of society and culture, particularly the theory of neostructuralism. The first point we have to discuss here, the different types of behaviors. The types of behavior constitute three. One is the actual behavior, the second one is the normative behavior where average members are there, and the third one is the ideal behavior where most of the individuals, and you can say each individual tries to be identified with this. For example, while we go for the kinship study, usually we are being given information on the ideal part or the part of behavior or the ideal pattern of the happenings. But on actual observations, the activities or the situations or the person's conditions or participation of the individuals, we do differ from the ideal behavior. So here we get the distinctions between the actual behavior and the ideal behavior. On the basis of this, he constructed two types of models. One is the Jural rules and second one is the statistical norms. The Jural rules are influenced by or constructed on the basis of the ideals of the community culture, and these suggest about what people should do. The second one, the statistical norms, which suggest about what people are actually doing or what they can do or what is the actual level of performances on different occasions, situations like that. So here also we get two types of behaviors. The next part of discussion is the custom. He called custom as synthetic. So custom serves the utilitarian purpose, and also each individual is not a slave of custom. Again we are getting another two types of behavior. One is guided by the custom and the second one which the individual performs in the actual situations. Here he also suggested to go for the collective consciousness, which can suggest better way to understand the ideal patterns or the ideals or the Jural rules of the community culture and the statistical norms of the community culture. The next part of suggestion he made for the field worker is to go for two levels of that is the observational level and the experimental level. So this will help more clarification of the social phenomena. The next part of discussion is the two types of comparative generalizations. These two types of comparative generalizations he derived from Radcliffe Brown and Levi-Strauss. Again here also he suggested to go for the ideas of organizations, and these ideas of organizations are nothing but the mathematical generalizations. He suggested to each anthropologist to identify these mathematical generalizations from their research. These mathematical generalizations are the actual principles of operations. He also suggests about the parts, different functional parts of the whole system or the community culture. And these parts from the mathematical point of view are not interconnected, but the operational principles are there which keep them connected, which keep them operational and functional to be part of the whole and to be the integrated system of the whole. Here he also says about the variables, that each society is not the assemblies of things but the assemblies of variables. So taking into consideration the mathematical generalizations, the principles, he suggested to go for the variables. So you have to identify the variables in each culture, each community, to get into the mathematical generalizations. The next part of discussion he suggested with regard to the constancy, of pattern. So constancy of pattern, that is, for example, the principles of inheritance, the principles of descent, the principles of relations. So these are some of the constancy of the pattern, and these are not empirical facts. Actually, this doesn't happen. What is going on? So principles are there which controls the system, but actually happens on the basis of the situation and condition of the cultural community, respective individuals, families, like that. And next part of discussion is the construction of the models. He denied the reality of these models which are being constructed by the respective researcher and the respective anthropologist. Each researcher or anthropologist, they have to go for some logical constructions, and these logical constructions are based on the mind. So these models are the logical constructions of the mind of the respective researcher or the anthropologist. These are not the real things. So these models which are being constructed out of the research, so these can guide for the future research, but actually these may not be the real situations. Basing on the conclusions of these researchers, we can formulate the problem for the future research. So this is the suggestion by Ehrlich while going for the clarification of the theory, the neo-structuralism. I hope this will serve your purpose to understand the contributions of Ehrlich towards the neo-structuralism. Thank you.